All right, so we got dev notes finally, and everybody seems to be very excited about this thing. I haven't read it yet. However, I am intrigued by this. It's another dev note that could very well just be lying to us, but everybody seems to be very excited about it regardless. So let's take a look at what these guys have to say, and let's actually wait and see what the next couple weeks look like to see if these guys actually keep their word. So anyways, it goes, greetings knights. To begin, we truly apologize. Okay, I don't need an apology, so I won't even bother reading that, because an apology means nothing to me. Moving on, we read and listened to recent feedback and decided to pause the entire plan for the release of Assault Meliodas banner and related content. Our overall release schedule is currently under review. This is not a regular announcement, but a developer note. We couldn't tell by the fact that it says dev note. Anyways, specifically prepared to deliver an okay, I don't care about an apology, but whatever. And they're gonna share their new operational plan. Okay, the main subject to address is the pace at which new characters are released. Following the release of Golden Wing Elaine, every new character will be released generally every 2 weeks. So they're changing to the JP schedule from the global schedule. Interesting. We'll see if we'll still have weekly updates, because we're still missing a bunch of towers and a bunch of final bosses. And at the 1 year point, JP had a bunch of reruns for final bosses, so they got a bunch of extra rewards that we never got on global. And that's the thing, I've said this multiple times to my alliance members or my guild members or my knighthood members, that I don't like playing games that have a JP version, because the global versions generally end up being sloppy seconds. For one, by the time the units come to global, the JP players have already played them, figured out the strategy, and basically just had their fun with those units. And by the time they come to global, the meta for what team they should be run on is already established, which is kind of sad, right? And I think the global devs know that, and that's why they're rushing at such a rapid pace to catch up with JP. Because the perfect example of this is the King team. Because people figured out that Escanor was coming, Assault Mode Meliodas was coming, and how the King team worked, what its strengths were and what its weaknesses were, people basically advised global players not to summon for the King team because it was going to fall off rapidly. And that actually cost the global devs a bunch of money, right? So that's a perfect example of why they're in such a rush to catch up to JP. Because then when banners drop, like the King banner, right, for characters that could very well be falling off in 2 months, you won't have that insight so far ahead, and you will actually go ahead and summon on those banners, and they'll make maximum profit. That's the main reason why they're in such a rush. And personally, I would not have a problem with the rush, because I don't like global feeling like sloppy seconds, right? However, they need to give us the final bosses that we missed, and they definitely need to give us all of the towers that we are missing that JP got. If they want to move at 2x or 3x the speed, they have to give us 2x, maybe even 6x the rewards to make up for that speed, right? They can't be holding back on final boss Bond, final boss Escanor, right, and all them stuff, and not releasing the towers but dropping banners every week, or now every 2 weeks. It doesn't matter if they change this to a 2-week release for every banner, if they are still gonna hold on to the towers and the trials and all them stuff that we are missing. Because sure, this gives you a little bit more time to save gems, but at the exact same time, if you're free to play or a low spender, you're still not gonna be able to summon on all those banners, because you're missing out on diamonds that you could have gotten from trials or final bosses that JP got that we didn't get, because the devs are prioritizing banners over content. Because of this, there was no new character banner this week, which honestly we don't care about, or personally I don't care about, because that allows me to save money. If anything, there should have been no banner this week planned already. Anyways, and next week we don't need a banner either. You can give us a tower and a final boss so we can get some extra diamonds. Okay, we, the global team, We're trying our best to minimize the content gap between JP and Global to provide a steady flow of new characters in order to create new, this says avenues of gameplay, but that's not true. This is supposed to create new revenue. They didn't mean to say avenue here, right? They want to increase their revenue, right? Because like I said, right, when characters get released on JP and people figure out how good or how bad they are, they advise global players not to summon for them, so then the global devs lose money. They want to make equal amount of revenue on both versions of the game, so keeping them within like a week or two of each other is a good idea. And personally, content wise, I like that as well. But the pace they're moving at, if they want to keep moving at that pace, they need to increase the rewards so that when we get to where JP is, we don't feel like we are a year behind because we didn't get the same amount of rewards that they got. So moving on. So they want to create new avenues of gameplay, growth, and strategy. However, in the process of doing so, we recognize that our knights became very stressed by the pace at which new characters were released. Going forward, we will continue to minimize the gap between the JP and the global versions, but we'll adjust the release schedule of new characters for the global build to confront the 2-week general cadence. However, there may be exceptions to the schedule in some circumstances. One of the examples oh my god, is festival eves. So basically what they're saying here is one of the exceptions could be festival banners. So like when we get a new festival banner on JP, they could drop the festival banner on global at the exact same time so that the JP players don't figure out how good or how bad that festival unit is before the global players, and then advise the global players not to spend on it. Perfect example is the King banner with the King team, because people had so long to play with the King team on JP. They figured out how good it was and how bad it was, what was wrong with it, what was great about it, and then they advised global players not to spend for it because the one was coming. All right, so this basically shows you what the plan is, in which we would include extra rewards or benefits such as quality of life changes, free tickets, and opportunities to get new characters. Okay, I'm here for the free, but you need to ramp that up like 6-fold. Okay, as for major banners, they will now be released in the same order as the Korean/JP bills. We will also try to keep the draw pool lineup similar. They didn't say exactly the same, right? This shouldn't have even been said. This was supposed to be something that was an understanding between the player base. This was supposed to be common decency, right? If Ludociel is on the banner for the Archangel on JP and the Korean version, he should be on the global version as well. But no, you don't want people to get an extra chance of getting Ludociel on a banner that they're already going to summon on. You want to put Ludociel on a shit banner later on, and then get people to summon on that shit banner because Ludo is there. So even though they say similar here, I have my doubts that this is actually going to be the case. You know what I'm saying? I have my whole doubts about this this dev note. They have some truths in here, but I feel like there's some I don't want to say lies, but some misdirection. Okay? In the off chance that we cannot, interesting, we will adjust the pools to include more desirable options. But here's the thing, it's your opinion of more desirable options, right? It's the dev team. They will basically decide what they believe to be more desirable options. So like they could reduce the banner to nothing but like Deldries and Dead Pierces and say, hey man, Deldry and Dead Pierce is desirable to us, so it should be desirable to you. Or they could put a bunch of green Escanors on there. Alright? Come on, man. The one is coming. You think people still want green Escanor? If you've been playing since launch, you think people still want green Escanor? Come on, man. Love Escanor, that's my dog, but like y'all tripping. Anyways, now we would like to deliver a brief schedule of our current developments. Next week we're planning to release the new character Knight of Frost, Jericho. That's the red Jericho in a step up banner. Okay, and in addition, Disaster Old Fart King. Okay, so this is Red King, the king I believe that has the highest CC in the game, will be giving to every knight as a part of the event. So that's how they plan to, come on, like, you can't buy me with a freaking Red King isn't the worst unit in the game, but he's not very good. Right, maybe 6 months ago he would have been decent, but now he's definitely not. Okay, anyways, moreover, we want to reduce the hurdle of character growth and are planning to provide an opportunity, okay, to obtain various characters that are already upgraded on global. There will be an upcoming first anniversary festival event. To start the event, we are preparing to include 6-star awakened level 80 characters for the first time. Interesting. My box is pretty much at level 80, so yeah, that doesn't help me too much. But for new players coming for the first anniversary, that's a good banner for them to summon on, because when you get the unit, they'll already be 6-star awakened level 80, which saves you a bunch of gold and a bunch of demon mats and pendants. So that's actually really good. And if I believe if you already have the units in your box and you get them again, they're automatically upgraded. They're not super awakened, but they're regular awakened and level 80. So that's actually really good. Salute to them for that. JP already did that. This event updates will be released on 2/8, so basically the first real week of February. Yeah, because February starts on the Monday. I guess this is next week, the following week, and called Homecoming. Okay, in the update, free tickets will be gifted, granting 10 multis, and the 1 Escanor will be released the following week. So, yo, these guys are actually crazy, bro. So if people didn't riot, they would have literally dropped Assault Mode Meliodas 3 weeks before they dropped the 1 Escanor. Not even a month apart. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. So that means by March, here's the plan for these guys, right? By March, they were planning to already have Nanashi on global, and then we would have literally been caught up, right? But now that they're forced to push back Assault Mode Meliodas, Assault Mode Meliodas probably going to be coming 3 weeks after the 1 drops, and then Nanashi will be here middle of March, I guess, and then we'll be like 2 weeks or so behind JP in terms of characters that we have that matter. We still don't have like the new Roxy and the new Shin, and we still don't have the new Easton and the new Valenti and the new Mono. Like, we're missing a bunch of OCs, but they are not like meta impactful anymore, right? Once you have the 1 and Assault Mode Meliodas, those characters are basically just footnotes in the history of this game at this point. There will also be many events, okay, to celebrate the 1-year anniversary, growth rewards to support our night throughout February and March. Also adjusting the order and pacing of banners. We will do our best to meet our knight's expectation and provide greater opportunities to acquire desirable characters. For example, the eventual release of Assault Mode Meliodas. Hello? Anyways, can't read. The eventual release of Assault Mode Meliodas banner will include the 4 Archangel in the drop pool. This is not you doing us a favor. Here's the thing. You know how scummy these devs are, bro? The fact that they have to tell us this, right? For example, the eventual Assault Mode Meliodas banner will include members of the 4 Archangel in the drop pool. This was already the case on JP. The fact that they're telling us this here, like this is some grand thing that they're doing just for us, means that they were planning to take the Archangels out the banner. Yo, I swear these guys are scummy, dog. These guys are scummy, bro. Seeing how global operates, bro, I've made myself a promise that I'll never play another game that has a JP version that comes to global, right? I'll either play the JP version or never play the global version at all, because I've seen this happen so many times before. And I thought the global version of this game would be like better, but it's turning out exactly how I thought it would. Before we conclude, we wish to thank, okay, I don't need your thanks, okay? I don't need your thanks. So they're giving out 10 Super Awakened coins, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch what other bullshit they pull. But yeah, 3 weeks for Escanor, and then 3 weeks after, if even, we get actually it might just be 2 weeks after. Who knows? By like March 4th or something like that, we might actually get Assault Mode Meliodas. So decide who you want to summon for. Who do you love? That's what it's gonna come down to, man. I hit you up with another video today, man. These dev notes, they're bittersweet, man. At least we know when the one is coming. It's not March, it's February. It's a little soon, right? But I don't think anybody should be super excited about the one coming basically 2 weeks earlier, because that's 2 weeks less that you have to save. Hopefully they make it a 6-week banner, but nah, they won't. It's gonna be a regular month. And if you've been spending your diamonds like crazy, the fact that they're not releasing final bosses and towers and stuff so people can farm up extra gems in addition to their PvP and their daily gems, it sucks, man. It really do. I'll catch you guys in the next one though. Peace.